Located here on 500 East Washington Avenue and Vegas Boulevard is the old Las Vegas Mormon Fort State Historic Park. Let's go check this out. Hey everybody, it's Let Your Light Shine, and I'm going to check out this old Mormon fort. I saw it on the maps a while back, and but I was having my days off of work were Mondays and Thursdays I was cleaning home, so Mondays this place is closed. I can never check it out. But today's a Wednesday morning. It's a little bit about 8:30ish, and is hardly anyone here. So let's go check it out so you guys can check it out when you're out here. Alright, showing the hours here. It says open Tuesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Closed Sundays to Sundays and Mondays. Also, here is a plaque right before you enter, and it says the Las Vegas Mormon Fort, a midpoint way station on the Mormon Road. If you want me to read it real quick. It says in April 1855, Brigham Young, president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, called 30 men to leave their families and possessions in the recently settled towns of Utah to serve a mission at the Las Vegas Springs. The verdant meadows watered by the springs had been seasonally inhabited by the Indians. It says Paiute Indians. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, because you know how I am with that situation. For centuries, the water in the meadows made Las Vegas an important stop on the Spanish Trail called the Mormon Road after 1848. President Young directed this group of newly called missionaries to become self-sufficient, to provide a place of rest and security for travelers between California and Salt Lake City, and to teach the Indians the gospel of Jesus Christ. In the heat of the summer in June 1855, the missionaries arrived at this site. The mission, intended to be permanent, was the first Anglo-American settlement in Las Vegas Valley. By summer's end, their irrigated gardens were producing fresh vegetables and grains. Sorry, I'm trying to change it up so you're not just staring at the plaque the whole time. Anyway, let's finish what I was reading. A new fort was under construction, and a spirit of cooperation and mutual learning was being established with the native inhabitants. They also discovered a deposit of lead ore in the nearby mountains. More missionaries were sent to smelt the complex ore in large quantities, but the attempt was unsuccessful. On the February 23rd, 1857, church leaders sent word to the settlement that the mission was to be disbanded. These early pioneers returned to Utah, but left a legacy of faith, devotion, and service shown by the willingness to settle in this hostile environment. So let's go check it out. So it looks like you can enter the grounds from this side. There's another entrance on the other side I'm going to check out, but this is what it used to look like at one time. So they say Las Vegas is a Spanish term meaning the meadows, although the term almost seems incompatible with the Mojave Desert Valley. This setting was once part of the lush 100-acre oasis sustained by a 3-mile-long spring-fed creek. Wow. For millennia, the springs, creek, and resulting mesquite, willow, and cattail groves were a magnet luring people and wildlife that found respite here from the harsh desert environment. Here's an old picture here. Oh, here's some other. Look at that. 1925, wow. So around this area you can buy some trinkets, and hey, there's some snacks, and the entrance was $3, so not too bad. Yikes, I don't want those in my backyard. Thank you. Okay, look at this is like a diorama. This is like the Indian camp. So here's the springs. didn't want to read everything to you guys. Welcome stop for travelers. Sure, when there's water, there's people. Let's see back here. Ooh. Wow. I'm not sure what this is, but food at the fort. And back here is like a, well, first there's a soldier here, but there's also a little movie if you wanted to watch about the Mormon fort. Yeah. Cool. I'll just watch a little bit of it.
Las Vegas. It's had its share of tourists, drawing travelers and visitors for centuries. Long before the rest of us had arrived, hunter-gatherer nomads, Native Americans, and later, beginning in 1829, caravan traders traveling the old Spanish trail from Santa Fe, New Mexico to California made stopovers at lushly vegetated springs flowing in the middle of the desert. Surrounded by mesquite trees and native grasses, this largely unexpected desert oasis became known as Las Vegas, Spanish for the Meadows. The wealth of these natural Las Vegas springs and subsequent shade trees had created quite a respite from the heat and surrounding dry desert climate. So abundant was this water source, the resulting Las Vegas Creek flowed eastward along the Las Vegas Wash and into the Colorado River. But a place to put down stakes, the idea of a city so isolated in the desert, probably never crossed anyone's mind. Explorers Kit Carson, Jedediah Smith, Peter Ogden, Antonio Armijo, and later in 1844, John C. Fremont are credited with blazing trails and new routes in this inhospitable, mostly uncharted Southwest desert territory. Their maps provided new trails and shortcuts along the way, and pinpointed important watering spots for travelers. By 1848, the Spanish trading era had ended with the United States acquisition of this territory. The trail connecting the Mormon Salt Lake City headquarters with Southern California came into more frequent use, becoming an important mail route, wagon freighting, and commerce corridor. The trail soon became known as the Southern Route to the Coast, or more simply, the Mormon Trail, which relied heavily upon the Las Vegas Springs for its life-giving water and shade from the long, desolate trail left behind. Because of its approximate equal distance between Salt Lake City and the Pacific coast, including the Mormon settlement of San Bernardino, California, founded earlier in 1851. President Young had selected William Bringhurst to lead the 30 Mormon men who were to leave their families and travel 435 miles south of Salt Lake City to establish a permanent fort and outpost in the Las Vegas desert.
I was called to serve along with 30 men, being asked to leave behind their families and homes for the purposes of establishing a mission in the middle of the desert, a sacrifice we were proud to make. William Bringhurst, President, Las Vegas Mission.
All right, that was a really cool educational 20-minute movie. So now I'm gonna go check it, the forts outside. Let's go. Just wanted to show you a couple more dioramas real quick that I just noticed down here. There's two more. And last. All right. So it says a railroad town. Oh, it says the town of Las Vegas was founded because of the railroad. Yes, I believe Steve actually mentioned that when we were doing the other vlog on Block 16. So, okay, let's just check out some of these remnants here. That's like a, wow. Everything else, tools, and just that one toy. And last but not least, okay, let's go head outside. Alrighty. First thing you see here, Helen and Jane Weiser Stewart, April 16th, 1854 to March 16th, 1926. It will only be for 2 years. Archibald promised his wife Helen in 1882, coaxing her away from civilized Pioche, Nevada, to a ranch in the middle of the desert. 2 years later, Helen buried Archibald after he lost his life in a gunfight at the nearby Kill Ranch. Helen stepped out of her traditional role as wife, mother, and homemaker to take over the Las Vegas Rancho. Helen never looked back. She expanded the ranch to nearly 2,000 acres and became one of the largest property owners in the Las Vegas Valley. Helen sold 1,835 acres of her property to the San Pedro, Los Angeles, and Salt Lake Railroad in 1902 for $55,000. She kept some land for herself and donated 10 acres to the local Paiute tribe. Helen was indeed a woman of first. She was first postmaster in the Valley, first woman in Las Vegas to serve on a jury, first woman to serve on the Clark County School Board, as a founding member of the local Christ Episcopal Church and the Mesquite Club, and a Red Cross activist. Helen shaped early Las Vegas into a vibrant community. Local leaders shut down the city of Las Vegas during Helen's funeral in honor of her pioneering spirit. Wow. All right, let's go check it out. And right ahead of us, where you see the cars, is Vegas Boulevard. All right, so I'm going to read this couple of these plaques. Hope you guys don't mind. Las Vegas Fort, Daughters of Utah Pioneers. In 1855, President Brigham Young appointed a company of men under the leadership of William Bringhurst to establish a colony at Las Vegas. The company left Salt Lake May 10th and arrived at Las Vegas June 14th, 1855. Encamped near the site, William Bringhurst was appointed president, William S. Covert and Ira S. Miles counselors. Sunday, June 17th, they built a Bowery and held their first religious services. The next day, they began to build the fort, 150 feet square, with walls 14 feet high, 2 feet wide at base, and 1 foot at top. Here's another. The Las Vegas Post Office. John Steele, one of the original LDS missionaries, secured a mail grant for the Las Vegas mission. The documents to establish a post office and appointing William Bringhurst postmaster were brought from Salt Lake City to Benjamin H. Hulse, January 10th, 1856. The office was continued until the mission was abandoned in 1857. Mr. Steele acted as postmaster under President Bringhurst. All right, let's check out the garden over here. So it's crazy to imagine that this was meadows and springs. Although, when I was talking to the, I don't know if he's a park ranger? He looked like one. He was saying that the spring preserves, I haven't checked that one out yet. I thought I did. I did the wetlands and the bird preserves. So there's a spring preserves that he highly recommends. He says it probably takes about 2 days to do it all. And as a local, it's about $10 to get in. Not too bad. But that's one of the original springs that still exists. So I was curious at where exactly the springs ran on this particular property. So let's see if we can find that out. All right, let's check out the old forts. Actually, just looked at the back of my little pamphlet here. It actually shows where the creek is. So if you see it to the left right there. And we are like right around this area, or a little bit past, like over here somewhere. So we'll walk that way in a hot second, but let's check out what's right in front of us. So we just saw the replica of the Pioneer Garden This is the site of Mormon corrals. Okay. So this is like, I guess people would stop and rest a bit and replenish their provisions. Tie their horses up, get some water. Wow. All right, let's move along to this area. What we're looking at right now, site of Fort Stockade Enclosure, 150 feet on a side. Okay, let's go check it out. Yeah, it's kind of nice. I'm like all to myself right now. I'm sure they have field trips out here. I would have thought being a school day and all, but I guess I lucked out. So I don't know if this, I'm looking at the map here from where we were. It says North Wall and it says BOR Test Lab, part of original fort. Yeah, it's probably this. Because here's the visitor center. And it says site of ranch houses over in that area. Reconstructed bastion. All right, so let's go over here and check that out. So this is where they all gathered around, probably to have a meal. Tasty little stew. Always wanted to try that. Like good old cowboy stew in a fire pit like that. All right, let's move on in. Cool. Second floor closed. Keep off ladder. All right, no problem. Whoa, is that? Oh, it's okay. It's a mirror. Like, what the? Just let you see what it looks like. All right. Okay, I'm just going to read this little picture here. It says, a U.S. Army soldier sent to the old fort during the years of 1867 to 1869 did not live in luxury. Life here, though, was a whole lot better than it was in El Dorado Canyon on the Colorado River, where the soldiers had been stationed. At the old fort, the soldiers had a roof over their heads, fresh vegetables and meat to eat, and a stream of cool, clear water to drink from. A display above gives a sense of how the soldiers may have set up their living. Let me scroll that up. Living quarters at the old fort. A mattress filled with straw and a wool U.S. Army issued blanket served as a bed. Candle lanterns provided light when needed. The haversack and the hat sitting on the mattress would have also been a part of soldiers' personal gear. Hat displays the insignia of Company D, 9th Infantry, one of the 2 units that were stationed here between the years of 1867 and 1869. This doesn't say anything on the map, but it's kind of curious. It just looks like a platform here, and then maybe you can like look out through the windows. We'll go around and see what they would have seen at one time, minus all the buildings and the ambulance. There you have it. That's real life today. Let's just go around here for a quick second. I wanted to make mention real quick that on a tourist note, they have public bathrooms right there. Alright, so here are some remains here. It says the Stewart ranch house once sat on this site. Today, nothing remains above the ground of the nearly 40 years that Helen Stewart lived on this site. But if you could dig into the ground here, you will find remains of the foundations of the first Stewart house. The original house was moved to North Las Vegas in 1960s, served as a restaurant until the 1990s. It has since been demolished. Oh wow. Stewart house in the early 1900s. And this is what we see. And they were showing in the movie them making the bricks. And this is what they were using, this thing right here, to create these forts that you see here. Alright, let's so actually it says the original fort, according to this map, because I wasn't sure what I was looking at, what was the original part of the original fort, but I believe it's straight ahead. It looks like you can go in there, so let's go check that out. Now this is the site of ranch house. That was what we were looking at. Got to get my bearings together. See, I'm looking at this map. So then the creek would have been somewhere along here. Actually, yes. They created a makeshift situation. Awesome. Yes, they did. Awesome. Kind of curious. We got it flowing from somewhere. I thought it was all dried up, so I thought maybe they were like creating like a fountain type thing to make it look like a creek is still existing, but it's goldfish. That's cool. Okay, so let's go check out this building right here. Before I do, forgot. Let's check out these guys right here. 1850s freight wagon, courtesy of Iron Mission State Park, Cedar City, Utah, Utah Division of Parks and Recreation Department of Natural Resources. Do not climb. This looks like the actual passenger wagon here. And then that would be all the stuff they use to carry their goods on. Alright, now let's walk over to the fort. Alright, let's entree. Boulder Dam and the old fort. Wow, look at Boulder Dam right then. That's pretty amazing. Well, it does say the old Las Vegas Mormon fort played a role in the monumental saga of Boulder Dam. The U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, the agency in charge of construction, leased the fort site from 1929 to 1931 for temporary office space and as a laboratory for testing concrete. See, good. There's, wow. Old pool and bathhouse, Las Vegas. Tents beside the Las Vegas Creek, Adobe Ranch House, southwest wall of Mormon Fort, 1905. Oh yeah, here it is, block 16, right there. Clark's Las Vegas town site, 1905. Wow. There's the railroad depot. Water, the precious resource. Okay. More pictures. Cooling off at Big Spring, Las Vegas. Artesian Well, Eglinton Ranch, 1912. Ranch spring houses on Las Vegas Creek. Okay. Look at that ranch house key. Okay, and living in the desert meadow north of Old Mormon Fort Ranch House. Wow, look at that. Sunrise Mountain east of Las Vegas. Big Springs, Las Vegas. Old Fort Bastion at the Stewart Ranch. Dining room, the Old Mormon Fort, Stewart Ranch House. Prospector Bert Chesley and Four-Legged Friends. Frederick Dellenbaugh painting of Gas Las Vegas Rancho. And the old Adobe Ranch building, Las Vegas. And more pictures, everybody. Fort Provo, Utah. Fort Bridger, Wyoming. Oh, these are all forts. Strongholds of Zion. Okay. Ruins of Old Mormon Fort, Las Vegas. Okay, it says this is the first flag flown over Las Vegas, July 4th, 1855. Wow. The president then appointed me to get up a flag. He also gave me 1.5 yards of domestic, and Sidney Carter gave me an old shirt. Brother Foster gave me a piece of blue jeans, which served for the corner piece, and we cut out a large 8-point star in the center representing Deseret. Wow. This flag, sewn according to one interpretation by Randy Hale, president of Friends of the Fort, is a replica of the flag that floated majestically in the breeze atop a 30-foot Liberty's pole at 2 o'clock in the afternoon of July 4th, 1855, to celebrate Independence Day. And we can just peek, but we cannot walk in. The park ranger did say, and I believe this is the piece of land he's talking about, this is the oldest structure in the state of Nevada. That baby doesn't look very happy in there. Okay. All right. So we can exit right there. Let's go check it out. It's like another one of these, like, sit and relax in the shade. Which right now the weather is perfect. It's like it's supposed to be 77 degrees or something like that, but in the summer, holy moly, you're adding 30 more degrees of that, if not 40 degrees worth. So yeah, shades needed. It's just a neat little bridge over the creek. Looks like more goldfish over here. Yeah, it's probably, my guess is that they're just pumping water like a filter thing from the beginning. If that park ranger is available, I'm going to ask him that. I'm just curious. And here's this. It has nothing said about it, but looks cool. Here's the parking lot, by the way, guys, and it is free to park and accessible off Washington Avenue. But I came from Eastern Washington, so you couldn't make a left that way. I had to make a U-turn and come in, make a right in. So just heads up. Not that it really matters, not a big deal. And, there's a big old pond back here. And lots of bees right here, so I'm just gonna mosey on out of here. So here's the other door that he said I could have accessed outside from. It's right when you walked into the visitor center here. So let's go check out the visitor. Oh, bathroom's over here too, just so you know. It's a massive door. All right, let's peruse their stuff you can purchase. Ooh, ghost chili. Alright guys, well I'm out of here. I did ask the park ranger about the water because I had been curious, and yeah, they were just pumping water. So they make it look like it's coming from somewhere though, the way they have it starting like kind of under the street there. So I think that's kind of cool. They do the replica of that. I also mentioned the old fort because it doesn't look that old like from the outside, but he said the original area where the mannequin was and the unhappy baby, the walls on the inside were the original fort stuff, goods, whatever you want to call it. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this visit here at the old Mormon fort. Highly recommend. It's only $3 to get in. Not too bad. Not that far from the strip. Vegas Boulevard's right there. So check it out when you guys are out here. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye, everybody.